Hi, my name is Simon Liu, and I'm a residential realtor with Happy Homes Vancouver and Keller Williams Realty, Van Central in Vancouver, BC. Today we're going to show you how to change a faucet. Oftentimes you buy a home and it comes with this old faucet. It might still work, but it's just ugly. So we want to change it to a modern one, and we'll show you how to do that. We're going to do something different here. Because it's plumbing and it's hard to get a good angle for you to view, we're going to do a dry run on the bench. This is everything that came out of the kit. So you have obviously your faucet, you have the gasket, you have the mounting nuts. There's two of them, one on each side. Sometimes you get the single one and you only get one. Brand new hoses, and you should always use new. And then of course we got our Teflon tape that we're gonna need. The first thing that happens is that we're gonna clean the sink to make sure this sits flush. Okay, so it's gonna sit flush. And then the faucet actually goes through the holes. So it's gonna go like that. Okay. Once we have that on, we put it on the sink and we get underneath and we try to secure these nuts onto the threads. We're just gonna go halfway because we're not actually installing. So now that we're ready to put the hose on, we need to first put some Teflon tape around the threads. And we're gonna go clockwise because that's the tightening motion. So what the Teflon tape does is it provides an extra little layer to close up any air bubbles or gaps in the threads that may encourage a leak, and we don't want that. So that's what the Teflon tape is good for. So then we tighten it. That's it. So of course there's also the supply line that you tighten, and you do the same thing. You put some Teflon tape, and then you're good to go, and you can ready for a leak check. Okay, so let's start and take the old one apart. Before you begin, it is very important to shut the water off, and you do for both hot and cold, and you do that before you disconnect anything. So the next step after you shut it off is to take the water line off. Before we take the lines out, we're going to set up our towel and a bowl to catch, one side at a time. Okay, and then we're going to need 2 wrenches in this one. So we have all the lines disconnected, and this will be difficult to show, so I'm just going to do it. But we're taking these nuts off of the base and to disconnect it. So as any project, any handyman will tell you, there's always problems. I encountered my first problem. So I initially thought that if I didn't hook that, I can squeeze it through this hole. It is big enough, it does fit, but I didn't know there's another plate underneath. So I have found out that it actually hooks up to here. So we're easy enough. Now that it's up, we can just disconnect it from here. We had that taken out. I had to bend the line to get this out because whoever designed it thought it was a good idea to put them at the same length. And we can put the new one on. Before we mount the new faucet on, very important that we make sure this surface is free of any debris, any kind of silicone or anything that's left over. We need a flat surface so that we make sure we have a seal. Otherwise, the problem is if there's any gaps and you get water coming onto the edge of the sink, it can get into underneath the faucet, and you can see this particular case is a laminate countertop. You can rot the wood, and so that's why we need to make sure this is very clean. So I'm going to do that now. So we talked about cleaning the surface on the sink. Also important, equally important, is to make sure the surface on the gasket is also clean. So there is a right and wrong way of putting this on. The flat surface actually goes on the bottom. Since we have this separated, it's a good idea to put the Teflon tape on both sides before you install it. That'll save you trouble later. We've successfully mounted the faucet, so it's the moment of truth. We're going to turn the water on and do a leak check. It's not uncommon for it to leak the first time. We just go in there and tighten it up and stop the leak. And then everything should be good. So we've done our leak check. No leaks, miraculously. Maybe I screwed up somewhere else. That's it. That's the project. It was simple. It required very little tools, very little knowledge, and easy and simple, and anyone can do it. Thank you for watching.